Hello, Sovereign Soleotch. How does the day treat you?
I'm fine, Meister Burjhess. It's really 9:30 already.
Yes, it seems to be, Sovereign Soleotch. Our dear Combina's morning meeting is starting in a short while. We really should be going.
I'm very aware, Meister Burjhess. Just let me finish my morning coffee.
We know, Sovereign, that you could have brought that with you. We might be late now.
I'm not particularly concerned about that, Marion. I just won't want to keep you waiting.
Do you simply want to join your dear Meister Boros in the dungeon, Sovereign Soleotch? I hope you understand that Sovereign Grec didn't simply send her to that vile tomb for being late to the morning emergency meetings. Really, I cannot find in myself a way to comprehend your relationship with that woman. And really, I would prefer it if you referred to me as Meister Burjhess. It is proper.
Alright, Meister Burjhess. I understand that Moss didn't make it hard for Sovereign Grec to imprison her, but Mr. Barringer, Sovereign Ortega, I really think that you're deluding yourself.
Please understand the Sovereign Soleotch. I'm just as worried as you about some of Sovereign Grec's more extreme measures. But they are simply the price we must pay merely to survive, much less thrive in dire circumstances such as these. I much prefer a few ill-mannered folk who have made their way within our ranks through subterfuge to get the boot and the destruction of cultivated society as we know it to commence.
If you so insist, Marion.
Greetings, Sovereign Grec. How are the days goings on?
Things aren't well, Meister Burjhess. The General has sent another ship of Earthborn our way for training. It's only able to sleep for a few hours. It was a fierce debate, I assure you. Would have been good for our people to see me sparring.
I am absolutely certain about that. Sovereign Grec, I do wonder if it would have angered the Earthborn living here, though. I've heard there is talk of a revolution.
It's a minor concern, Meister Burjhess. I've already sent the constables to raid some of their leaders. These people are like sheep. Once they are left without their lineage masters, we can put them in line. But the General keeps sending more shipments of them. All of them have more spies, and every day my job is harder. Just managing the current Earthborn population is challenge enough. They threaten to overwhelm us every day.
Am I late? Sovereign Grec, am I late?
No, you're not, Duke Jorda. We haven't gotten down to business yet, which we really must do. We become overwhelmed every day. I estimate the rates that General San Martino is sending people. The built-born population will be the majority for only a few weeks more. I believe at this point our meeting can formally start. Meister Burjhess, please hand out our bells. Very good. Duke Jorda, please grant us a reading from your latest poetic project, or excursion if you'd prefer to call it that.
Sovereign Grec, if there's a crisis, shouldn't we be focusing on that? That Earthborn population explosion you're so upset about? Or some other important matter of state and security?
Thank you, Sovereign Soleotch. I was being selfish for a moment. Duke Jorda, you may give your latest reflections at the end of our meeting.
Well, alrighty then, Madeira.
Thank you, Duke Jorda. Set out for business then. The lineage's fleet surrounded Pluto last night. Our forward command base has retreated to Charon, and they apparently set up a communications barrier, so we don't know how our forces still on Pluto are doing. The General expects heavy losses, and the lineage is still sending reinforcements every day.
Can't we send some of our excess population as reinforcements?
I am not finished with my report, Sovereign. The Granada is returning with another 4,000 Earthborn soon, and they will need to be put into training centers. The General trusts them, but she is not entirely without suspect herself, and I want loyal agents within their ranks as soon as they arrive. That was the urgent business. Our water purifier has been restored so that crisis is over, and factories are still producing 88% capacity and rising. If you have nothing else to contribute to the conversation, you may now leave. But make sure we're ready for the shipment and have the trainees sent back out before the ship leaves for Styx, alright?
Sovereign Grec, if I'm correct, our training centers are already full training officers, and a lineage deprogramming alone takes 6 hours. How are we going to do this?
Please use your bell, Sovereign Soleotch. It is proper procedure.
There are only 5 of us here.
It is still disrespectful. This is an official council meeting, if you don't mind me pointing that out, Sovereign Grec.
Thank you, Meister Burjhess. Thank you very much.
I still have to ask, how are we supposed to train these people in a day?
To speak frankly, Sovereign Soleotch, we will not. They will receive basic deprogramming. We will learn of their plots, plans, intentions, about any spies in their midst, and they will be sent back, armed and set loose. Most will die, no, all will die, but their sacrifices will be noted duly.
Why not train them more? We still have plenty of mercenaries far behind our lines. It just seems such a waste of resources.
We're still alright, Sovereign Soleotch. I will send out a report saying that we will be sending a few of our officers off for field training instead and use the space for our new Earthborn. I think I need to lie down. This meeting is adjourned.
Oh, I never read my poem.
Oh dear, that is such a shame. I'm so sorry, Duke Jorda.
Yes, I'm sure you're disappointed.
Yep. Sure am.
I think she's getting worse.
I do empathize with Sovereign Grec. I can't imagine it can be easy to have a survey of everything as it falls apart, especially if you devoted yourself to preventing it.
Sovereign Soleotch, I do not emphasize with Sovereign Grec's situation in that way, in that cold, abstract way you think of it. I could not have imagined myself in her feet personally. I'd rather emphasize with her real hardship, her real challenge with her.
Sorry, Meister Burjhess, but I still can't find it in myself to do that, just yet.
I understand, Max.
Please settle down, crowd. Please settle down, crowd. Sit down. Thank you for showing some amount of basic courtesy. This is an historic day. That is no matter of opinion. Today's the day we take back our civilization. Please settle down. I'm sorry. I know that comment could be seen to warrant that response from some of you, or the crowd, perhaps, but this is a serious matter, and I will have your attention. As you all know, a week ago we lost Pluto. Yesterday we lost Styx. Tomorrow our enemies from our fountain may reach Orcus, Mokmok, or Arecibo. Our forces, led by the brave General San Martino,
have failed to push them back, but not for lack of trying. The strength and courage of our fighting men and women is unmatched by the drones of the lineage. Yet time and time again, they have been overrun. Why has this occurred? Well, the only reasonable explanation of our enemies from without are vastly inferior, and yet we continue to be crushed before them on the fields of honor time and time again, is that there are enemies from within. In her extreme generosity, the General has been allowing the erstwhile citizens of the lineage's regime to travel freely to our cities and seek treatment. Many in the revolutionary leadership cautioned against this, but the General and myself pushed for this important humanitarian effort. It has become clear, however, that this was a mistake. So effective immediately, the Revolutionary Council has unanimously...
I never voted for this!
This decision was unanimous among current members of the Revolutionary Council, not including those excluded under suspicion of harboring dangerous sympathies.
I know Max never voted for this!
Sovereign Vallejo, first, please address Sovereign Soleotch properly. And second, you are lucky that I have not arrested you for disturbing the peace as of yet. If you simply attended my speech in order to protest it, then you will find yourself with few friends in the coming days. Because, yes, all Earthborn currently living on Bologna are being transported over the course of the upcoming week to Charon, in order to ensure the security of our core population on Bologna and our victory in the war. Those that fight bravely will be awarded appropriately and sleep more soundly knowing that they have fought for their freedom, rather than being given it. Now,
I had to get past 7 automated turrets, hack into a lineage starflyer, and a soul's place in atmosphere, and kill 4 men just to make it to Pluto. Then I had to spend 7 hours in an outdated hunk of junk listening to a bunch of guys tell me how I didn't deserve what I'd gotten. And you're telling me, Sovereign Grec, that I didn't earn my fracking freedom.
Constables, I believe the crowd is becoming restless. Please dispose of them.
So that's it, you want to dispose of us, is that it, Sovereign Grec?
Why is this door locked?
You never do anything to me.
Why is this door locked?
You pout and complain and yell and scream, but in the end, you're all just dolls. And there's no one to play with you. I was surprised you could even breathe without being told to do so by the lineage ophonym. Even if I die, you wouldn't kill me. No, if I die at your hands, it is the same as if I were shot by an automated turret. Any hatred I perceive in its heart is a fabrication. You're all simulacrums of men and women. You don't even realize it. You are false and I am real. And you will always envy that. I have a plasma pistol, an antique, and I would use it, but it would seem a waste to fire such a fine weapon, gleaming silver, carefully clean, containing a masterwork of human engineering, human ingenuity. As this, at one such as you, and you did this. This was your plan all along. Do you have a transmitter? Are you often in prime? If I kill you, will this nightmare of all of you, your nightmare, will this end and will I...
How can a doll have a nightmare? One finds a flaw in your analogy, sir.
Oh, hello, Sovereign Soleotch. How do you do? I suppose you weren't watching Sovereign Grec's speech. I'm so sorry, Marion. We have to hurry. I'm sure they'll be here soon. If we have to go to the dungeons.
What is the matter, Sovereign? I smell fire.
It got her, Marion. Sovereign Grec's dead. Avak stormed the stage with his lackeys, cornered her, pulled out an old fire axe. It was fracking horrible, Marion. By the gods, I can't think.
I was under the impression you didn't have any love for the confidence Sovereign Soleotch. I thought I'm personally appalled by those actions, and I must say the way our society is going is simply atrocious. Right down the drain, really.
What are you talking about, Marion? This isn't a council meeting. I saw Grec's guards run the other direction. I don't have any more faith in my own. We could both be dead in an hour. You realize this. We have to get to the dungeons.
I suppose you're right. I will have to face it at some point. Yeah. Why do we have to go to the dungeon, Sovereign?
The mob has already taken over the spaceport, so I thought maybe Moss could get them under control. Come on now, the smell of kerosene is getting stronger.
Wait! What will Master Boros do, though? She was just as fundamentally opposed to our society as any of the agitators, more so than some Leo even. Sovereign Soleotch? Max, listen to me. I simply do not see why this is a good idea.
You didn't see the broadcast, Marion. Avak isn't their leader. He's more of a cheerleader, really. They're totally out of control, and I thought that Moss could prevent herself as their leader and get them organized in such a way where we'll at least keep our heads.
If they are truly as disorganized as you say, it seems that anyone properly trained in the charismatic arts could theoretically take charge of this unruly horde, Sovereign Soleotch.
If you really think so, Marion, feel free to try.
Oh no, I would think that rather as someone who has their feet in both shoes, so to speak, you should really be on your leader, aren't they? Haven't you ever wanted to be in charge of it all, Max? Power, glory, etc. Fame, even?
I just don't see how I could do it. It doesn't seem to fit who I am. I can't see myself in that position of power. I'm just not a decider like that. Meister Burjhess?
I simply don't see how we could accept Meister Boros, who's only the barest illusions to cover her distaste for all aspects of solar society, particularly the separation of noble and ignoble blood. I simply don't see any society under Meister Boros that would not involve the total destruction of our ancestors have spent centuries to create. The highly cultivated nature of our people that is truly unmatched.
If you want to try to take charge, you can.
I'm gonna see if there's anything to drink on this train.
I don't think I could solve in Soleotch itself. Just as you said, I'm truly worthless unless I have some solid exterior force to determine what action to take. I cannot make the big decisions.
Well then, I guess you're lucky. It seems like you don't have to in this case. We're getting Meister Boros, and she'll make sure we're safe. Want some sneak, Meister Burjhess?
No, we'll be there soon anyway, yeah. Gods, it doesn't feel like a week ago, that last meeting.
No, it really doesn't. Okay, here. Which cell is Moss? Can you see Marion?
It appears cell 16 through 443 are political prisoners. Why don't you look through those files? a lot, isn't it? I remember Mom, the raid Sunshine, only had about 200 in the royal prison. That was for the whole core reeds, and that Southern Grec was very aggressive, wasn't she? I suppose I never thought about it.
Sure was, but anything to protect solar society, right? Can't have any change, can we?
Well, that's why all this happened, isn't it?
I suppose at its core, but I can't imagine it would have been this bad if we'd actually worked on integration rather than trying to hide from inevitable change.
Maybe you are right, but this wasn't Grec's fault, was it? I
Here it
guess...
is. Cell 146. Come on, let's go. Moss! Where are you, Moss?
Meister Boros? Max, this door has been busted asunder, and these cells, the barriers have been disabled.
It's quite peculiar, but come on, Marion. We're almost to cell 146. She should be able to hear us soon. Moss! Moss, no!
Hello, Max. It's nice to see a friendly face after a few weeks down there, yeah? Depending on who it is, though, or at least know that now. Sounds like the other Sob is dead too, from what I've heard.
Was it Avak? Did he come in here with his horde and his shining crimson axe and get you? Did he try to make it quick?
No, Sob. He sure didn't.
Oh dear, Meister Boros.
Oh dear! She's dying, Marion!
You're really gonna let her call you that, Meister Burjhess? It's a funny world we live in. From what I hear, Avak's in charge of the whole thing now.
No, Mom is still ultimately in the leadership position.
You think anyone cares about that, Meister Burjhess? Oh, sorry. Force of habit, Marion.
I would still prefer if you called me Meister Burjhess. It is proper, Meister Boros.
Proper! You're lucky I didn't leave you to die in that trumped-up mansion of yours, Marion. Don't make me regret it.
Some things never die. Stay frosty, son. I'll always...
By the gods! How could this happen?
Oh God, what are we going to do now, Sovereign?
Whatever one wants to do, Sob. And Meister.
Oh, Meister Kleiner, Sovereign, Meister Sir Commander, I was just detaining these rebels here, Adversary.
Marion, what?
Refer to me as Meister Burjhess in front of Sovereign Adversary.
Please, Max.
There is no need for that, Marion. Adversary is enough. One needs not go by Meister or Sob or any name for that matter. It is a new world. One needn't do anything. May release. Max.
Okay, Meister Adversary. May we go now?
Of course.